is actually on a hunger strike at Jantar Mantar? Sonam Wangchuk, or the political ambition of the people surrounding him? When one man loses 9 kgs while everyone around him gains followers, publicity and political mileage, is that solidarity? Or is that exploitation with better branding? Hello, you're watching No Cap with me, Megha Prasad. Let us begin with one thing that should not be trivialized. India's examination system has serious questions to answer. When the future of millions of students depends on a single examination, a leak is not a clerical error. It is the theft of time, money and opportunity. Students have every right to protest. The government has a duty to respond. But today, the issue is no longer limited to examination reform, because the stage at Jantar Mantar is steadily becoming something else. A political launchpad, a celebrity stopover, and most importantly, a platform built around the weakening body of Sonam Wangchuk. Wangchuk is now on his 19th day of hunger strike. He has lost more than 9 kgs. The Delhi High Court has ordered daily monitoring of his health and directed the authorities to provide medical help if his condition deteriorates. Now, let us tell you that the CJP has also announced a march towards Parliament on July 20th. So there must be no confusion. This is not a joke for Wangchuk. His body is paying the price. The question is whether everyone standing around him is making the same sacrifice or merely using his sacrifice. Sonam Wangchuk is an established educator, innovator and an environmental activist. He has, of course, some bit of credibility that he has earned over decades. Abhijit Dipke has a political movement that he has created just a few weeks ago. One has moral capital, the other needs political capital desperately. And the uncomfortable question is this: is CJP supporting Sonam Wangchuk or borrowing his credibility to manufacture legitimacy for itself? Because Dipke's political past is not irrelevant. Before presenting himself as the founder of an entirely new youth movement, Dipke worked as an Aam Aadmi Party social media volunteer between 2020 and 2023. Before leaving for studies in the US, he publicly thanked Manish Sisodia and wrote that distance would never weaken his commitment to AAP. That does not automatically prove that CJP is an AAP front, but it certainly makes the question legitimate, especially when AAP workers have already participated in an earlier CJP protest in Amritsar, even though some party leaders described their presence as personal rather than official. So let us not jump to a conclusion here, but let us also not pretend that there is no political overlap. If someone worked for AAP, publicly promised continued commitment to AAP, receives support from AAP workers and then creates a movement where AAP leaders repeatedly appear or express support, then asking about the relationship is not a conspiracy theory. It is basic political journalism. And now look at the stage itself. Kunal Kamra has appeared, Chandrasekhar Azad has appeared, Mahua Moitra has appeared, Prakash Raj has appeared, Priya Saroj has appeared, Arundhati Roy and Nasruddin Shah have publicly backed the protest and appealed to Wangchuk to protect his health. Now, every Indian has the right to protest. Every actor, politician and activist have the right to speak. But when a protest over one examination controversy begins assembling the complete travelling cast of every anti-government mobilization, it is fair to ask whether this is still a focused student movement or whether it is being converted into a general purpose stage against the Modi government. The CJP says it has invited leaders from across parties, including figures from both the opposition and the government, and that's an important fact. But invitations are one thing. The political character that finally occupies the stage is quite another. And that character is becoming increasingly familiar. A specific grievance enters the stage, then comes the celebrities, then the professional political speakers, then the sweeping speeches about democracy, fascism, the constitution and the entire condition of the republic. The original issue becomes a prop, the protest becomes a festival, and the person actually fasting becomes the background image. That is the danger here, not dissent. The professional capture of dissent is the danger. And then comes the most surreal part. While Wanchuk is visibly losing weight, clips from around the site reportedly show participants eating biryani, kachoris and bread pakoras, food creators recording content and people dancing near the protest stage. Eating at a protest is not a crime. Supporters are not required to starve simply because one person is fasting, but optics matter. Sensitivity matters. Basic dignity matters. When the central figure of your movement is becoming physically weaker by the day, turning the protest site into a food reel and culture carnival is not solidarity. It is grotesque theatre. One man is losing muscle, everyone else is gaining content. One man is fasting, everyone else appears to be feeding the algorithm. The revolution apparently now comes with breakfast, lunch, dinner and sponsored snacks. And this is where Dipke must answer a moral question. Why is Sonam Wanchuk still fasting? What is the exit plan? What concrete negotiation has CJP attempted? Who decides whether the fast continues? What happens if Wanchuk health collapses? Will the CJP accept the responsibility? Or will Dipke collect the political dividend while Wanchuk carries the medical risk? Because an indefinite fast is not a social media challenge. It is not a branding device. It is a human life placed on the negotiating table. And using another person's reputation and physical suffering to accelerate a new political organization is not courageous politics. It is deeply cynical politics. The government too should not make the mistake of remaining silent. Ignoring Wanchuk's health allows CJP to claim exclusive ownership over his cause. The government should speak to him directly. It should address the examination concerns with facts. It should separate a respected activist's demands from the political circus collecting around him. Silence does not weaken CJP. It gives CJP oxygen. But CJP must also be transparent, publish its fundings, publish its leadership structure, disclose the political history of its key organizers, clarify whether it is a movement, a satire page, a pressure group, or a political party in waiting. And stop hiding behind Sonam Wangchuk's moral stature. Because Wanchuk is not a campaign mascot. He is not a bait. And he should not be reduced to a weak body on mattresses while political visitors rotate across the stage. A genuine student movement should be led by students. Its demands should be precise. Its evidence should be public. Its negotiations should be transparent, and its leader should not need someone else's hunger strike to become nationally relevant. So yes, question the government, question the examination failures, demand accountability, but also question the people's monetizing outrage, collecting followers and building political careers around a man who is becoming weaker every hour. Because the real question at Jantar Mantar is no longer just why is Sonam Wangchuk fasting, it is also who is feeding on his fast. And when the cameras are gone, the speeches are over and the food stalls have packed up, who will remain beside him? The activist, the politicians, or will Abhijit Dipke stay next to him? Thanks for watching.